folks, some of them are actually holding pro-police flags and things like that while they create disruption here in the Capitol for the police. So there is no end to the irony, which is very often the case when talking to a lot of these folks. I mean, the people here today, some of these folks who caused the destruction, who drove through these barricades, they told me earlier they view themselves as patriots. They view any person who lives in the real world and sees Joe Biden as president-elect of the United States, they view them as the traitors. And so folks are so far down these rabbit holes of misinformation as we see the police line now moving forward here just a bit again. Well, as we've seen all along here, we haven't seen so much the demonstrating the Trump supporters pushing back on the police line. It just taking those baby steps, and of course, past curfew here. Wolf.
Yeah, the president just moments ago in that tweet called them great patriots. Really a sick situation unfolding. Alex Marquardt, where are you?
We're a little bit not too far away from Tony O'Sullivan and what he is seeing as well. And what you're really getting a sense of right now, Wolf, so we're 23 minutes after the curfew, is a sense of significantly dwindled enthusiasm. These are not the fired up Trump supporters, not the fired up rioters who we saw protesting for much of the afternoon. This is much more muted. They are now being pushed westwards away from the Capitol towards the Washington Monument. The police line is encircling that group of protesters in their reflective vests with their helmets on, batons at the ready, pushing what has been an aggressive crowd, but not a violent crowd, at least for the past hour or so. We're not necessarily seeing violent altercations taking place as the police push them back. In the time that we've been back over here on this side of the Capitol, and certainly since the curfew has gone into place, we have not seen the police having to use things like pepper spray, tear gas, some of those pepper balls that we have seen in previous protests here in the nation's capital over the past year. But you are very much seeing this large crowd, and it still is a large crowd, and no matter how much it has dwindled, there are still significant numbers out here of Trump supporters being pushed away from the Capitol. I spoke to what appeared to be a senior police officer as they were asking us to move as well. He said the intention was very much to clear the area, to make the Capitol a safe area after an incredible, surreal afternoon of violence. We have been using that word over and over again, surreal, because it simply is. To watch Americans breaking in to the Capitol building, scaling the walls of Congress has just been absolutely extraordinary to witness. What you're looking at now, I'm going to ask my cameraman Ronnie to point over to the right. That line of police that we were talking about, they now have riot shields, tall plastic, clear riot shields that will help them in their efforts now to push back these protesters, these rioters. As you know all too well, Wolf, things change very quickly when darkness falls. It is now dark out here. There is now a curfew. I would imagine that many of these people out here know that there is a curfew and are still resisting going home. So this is, if you will, a more hardcore element that has yet to melt away. But given the sheer magnitude of law enforcement out here, I would imagine that they will be rather effective in getting these rioters to leave this area. As we speak, Wolf, you can see them moving forward and pushing them away. We're going to have to move out of the way very soon as well, Wolf.
Yeah, this curfew has gone into effect almost a half an hour. But these rioters, they have no intention, apparently at least not now, of honoring the law and agreeing to leave. You know, Manu Raja, this information that we just got, that a woman who was shot inside the U.S. Capitol during the riots earlier today was not pronounced dead at a local DC hospital. You're there, you're inside the Capitol. Give us the latest on what's going on.
Well, I can tell you that senior law enforcement officials in the Capitol, along with some key officials who deal with the House Senate floor operate, just had a meeting, and they walked into a meeting with a larger group of senators, presumably to brief them about what the plans are going to be tonight. And I can tell you that leaders on both sides of the aisle are pushing to continue with what they tried to do. These rioters trespassed and broke into the
I don't know
Capitol.
why he want to make it worse, you know. Oh my God. It's bad, believe me, especially this time.
I'm glad I live here.
Oh
Because
my
I spent some time in other states.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we live here.
Oh my God.
Because at least there's more
Yeah.
acceptance and
You're right.
culture.
Oh my
This is
God.
crazy.
It's bad. Already one lady, she got shot. She's died, yeah.
Dead.
Yes.
Private meeting to discuss their
You know?
strategy. No word yet about whether they will continue to
Oh, what can I do? You know? All right, you too. Take care.
going forward. Also, outrage building among a lot of Republican senators and Democratic senators about what just transpired. A very, very strongly worded statement just came out of Mitt Romney, the 2012 Republican presidential nominee, Utah Republican senator, saying that he was going to deliver this speech on the floor of the Senate today and say that they're gathering to deal with selfish man, injured pride, that he has deliberately misled and informed his supporters. And he goes on to say that happened here today was insurrection incited by the President of the United States. Those who continue to support a dangerous gambit by objection to the result of a legitimate democratic election will forever be seen as being complicit in an unprecedented attack against our democracy. They will be remembered for their role in a shameful episode in American history. That will be their legacy. Very, very strong words from the Republican presidential nominee from 2012, 9 years ago. And will to show you that the raw emotions that a lot of members feeling on both sides of the aisle, trying to appeal to some of these Republicans who are projecting to drop their objections, move forward quickly, show some unity after what we've all witnessed here on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, and the acting Attorney General of the United States, Jeffrey Rosen, just issued a statement saying the violence at our nation's Capitol building is an intolerable attack on a fundamental institution of our democracy. The words continue to flow right now, Dana, but I don't know what's going to happen in the coming hours. Will these Republicans who want to try to block the democratically held election here in the United States, whether Steve Scalise or Kevin McCarthy or Ted Cruz or Josh Hawley, will they now recognize they were going to lose anyhow, just get it over with and move on?
It is the question we're waiting to know the answer to, Wolf. In the meantime, we are getting some dramatic pictures of what happened in the moments, the minutes, when these rioters came to the outside of the House chamber. And on the phone is Congressman Jason Crow of Colorado. And Congressman, we have a photo that's on CNN.com, and we're going to put up right now, that shows you reaching out on the floor of the House chamber, reaching out to Congresswoman Susan Wild. And you are, there you go, and you are, looks like you're trying to comfort her. Take us in that moment. What was going on?
Yeah, that was a very, very difficult time. I haven't been in a situation like that since, frankly, I've been in Iraq and Afghanistan as an Army Ranger. We were actually trapped in the House chamber at that time. The mob had descended and broke through the security, poured onto the Capitol. They had already evacuated the leadership and the members who were on the floor. Those of us who were